One of the highly most anticipated teams of 2017 are the Tennessee Titans. Yes, the Tennessee Titans. Now, a lot of people thought they would be able to make the playoffs in 2016 if Marcus Mariota did not get hurt. Now, when you look at the Titans, definitely you look at them as an offensive team. I know they have some personnel on the defensive side. They got signing Logan Ryan, and they also got Dory Jackson. Obviously, they got a pretty nice cornerback duo going. Also, when you look at their D-line, they also got some players right there too. And so, ideally, but usually when it comes to defense, you want more depth there. Versus on offense, you really want stardom right there. That's the big difference. And when I look at this, when I look at the Titans, they're definitely going to need to score. But that really shouldn't be too much of the problem. Because I look at the Tennessee Titans, I think they're going to be the best goal line offense in the NFL. And I think that's going to be better than Aaron Rodgers' Green Bay Packers. I think that's going to be better than Matt Ryan's and Julio Jones' Atlanta Falcons. I think that's going to be better than Tom Brady's New England Patriots offense. I think it will. And I'm talking about on the goal line specifically. Because if you look at their personnel, they are quite a dominant group. And I think they're going to be obviously more dominant than Dak Prescott's and Ezekiel Elliott's Dallas Cowboys. Now, when I look at this, I think there's a lot of things I look at here. Now, a lot of people will be confused. They would probably say the Dallas Cowboys are the best offensive goal line team. But I would tend to argue just because over the facts that I think Tennessee has more bodies right there that can contribute to the game more so than the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I'll continue that in a second. Because the Tennessee Titans are stacked all around the place. First things first, even though I've been very critical of him, Marcus Mariota is a dual-threat quarterback, and he's perfect for the red zone. Now, when it comes to Marcus Mariota, he's fairly accurate. He knows how to look off the safety. He's a guy that can move around a lot, and not only is he a scrambler, he's also a runner, and that's very, very useful in the goal line. And obviously, when you look at that, when you're doing that read option, it's going to be very helpful to probably do that dual fake, especially with DeMarco Murray, who I'm going to get to later. And not only that, when you watch Aaron Rodgers plays, his ability to scramble definitely helps him out, and that's something that I look at that Marcus Mariota can capitalize on. Now, when I look at that, when you have that dual threat quarterback, I think those usually make the best goal line quarterbacks. Obviously, I think the only issue about Marcus Mariota physically is maybe he could be a little bit taller, so maybe there could be use of quarterback sneak. As you could tell, quarterbacks are usually on the taller side, are usually the ones they use for quarterback sneak versus the shorter ones. Obviously, you're more likely to see Mike Glennon going there for quarterback sneak because he has that length versus a Russell Wilson who doesn't exactly have that length. So when you have that, you have that ability right there. But the only problem is his height. I would think you need to be a little bit taller just to be the perfect one. But other than that, Marcus Mariota is the closest to what we get to a perfect goal line quarterback. Now, Marcus Mariota, I've been very critical of him. I made a video why he was overrated. Click in the link in the description if you are interested, but watch his video because please, these videos are amazing, guys. Of course you're going to want to watch them. Now, I was talking about DeMarco Murray. Obviously, he was a former Dallas Cowboys, and then he went to the Philadelphia Eagles and just didn't have the same success, even though he had some pretty good tackle play from right there. And yet, with that, he still didn't do as well. But when he got back to the Tennessee Titans, he started to thrive again. Yes, he did thrive again. And when you have DeMarco Murray, he's a guy that flies off of the blocking, and with that, he can be very, very good. And ideally, DeMarco Murray isn't really known for his hands, but you don't really need really good hands for the most part when you are a kind of team that's a goal line team. That's just how it works. And obviously, when you have Marcus Mariota's athletic ability to run around, you don't really need a quarterback to have hands because a quarterback that's more of a pocket passer, they are the ones that stay in the pocket. They're going to need to have a quick option to throw to there versus a mobile quarterback who's going to have to use his own legs to throw to a wide receiver downfield because he can versus a pocket passer. That's why you don't really need a receiving back right there. So when you have that, that's very good. And DeMarco Murray, obviously, I feel as if he's more used to rush down the field, but come on, most teams like to run it up the middle when they're in the goal line. And obviously, if you look at DeMarco Murray, he will be very good at that. And not only is DeMarco Murray up on there, you got Derrick Henry. Now, Derrick Henry is a big running back. Obviously, he went to Alabama, and some people like Alabama running backs. Some people absolutely despise Alabama running backs, and I perfectly understand why. But ideally, you get Derrick Henry. He's a big body, and ideally, if you just need a guy who can just thrust up the middle and just use his size to that advantage, I think you clearly can, with the fact that you have Derrick Henry just as a backup. And obviously Derrick Henry, they drafted him in the second round. I was a little bit confused to why they drafted him in the second round. I thought that was a little bit high, but hey, they liked the guy. So you could pound the guy up the middle, and I think you could be great with that. And obviously, if you look at Alabama, they thrived using that kind of run. He thrived under there, but they had a very good O-line. But hey, if you look at the Tennessee Titans O-line, they have a very good line. The tackle play is very good. Taylor Lewan is one of the best players in the NFL. He made the NFL top 100. And if you look at that tackle play, I think really capitalized, especially in the goal line. I think it could be really helpful where you have that, because I feel up the middle, if you're going to run up the middle, that's probably the easiest way to score a touchdown on the 1 yard line. But if you have that tackle play, you got that threat to go to the outside. So let's just say you're going up against a really good nose tackle. Let's say you're going up against Dontari Poe. You're going up against Ray Lewis. Somehow he comes out of retirement and looks like he's 28 again. So what happens if you have that? Well, you can also run it to the outside and challenge them to the outside. And I think that could be very, very good if you have that tackle play. And you could do that to DeMarco Murray and that, or Derrick Henry, and I think that could be absolutely fantastic. Now, one thing for sure, when I look at that offensive line plays a huge role there. And not only that, I also like to look at the wide receivers. I think the wide receivers, kind of the underrated group for the Tennessee Titans. Now, they have this guy named Corey Davis. They drafted him. Now, Corey Davis, he's a 6'3" kind of target. I could kind of compare them to Eric Decker. That was my comparison for him. But when I look at Eric Decker, he's kind of a red zone target. He's a big red zone guy. When he was using Denver would like to throw it in the goal line. Not only that, when he was with the New York Jets, believe it or not, the Jets would like to throw it to the goal line. That's how they used him, and he had a pretty good year besides being hurt and all that. So the receivers there are actually fairly good right there. And I think you can definitely work out well with the receivers because you have those fade routes. And usually the bigger the target is, the better that they're going to the red zone because it's such a short pass. You just need a guy to catch up and get the ball. You don't really need to worry about yards after catch. For the most part, you really don't. There's only some situations where you might have to, but other than that, though, for the most part, you just need to worry about running to your thing, getting open, and catching that route. Now, next thing you know is probably a very underrated player in the NFL, Delanie Walker. Yes, Delanie Walker is one of these players who is a dynamic kind of tight end. He's this one guy who's very balanced. He has the size to run block, but he also has the speed to run open, get open, and he also has hands to catch. What's not to like about Delanie Walker? So he's going to be a very good red zone threat. And so when you look at that, tight ends are used a lot in the red zone. A lot of people like to throw to the tight ends in the red zone because you've got a bigger target there to throw to, and it's usually your biggest target on your team. It's very rarely. And I know Delanie Walker isn't the tallest guy in the world. He's actually just around 6 feet tall. I want to say he actually might only be 5'11", but he's stocky, and tight ends are just really good threats, especially when Delanie Walker also knows how to block. I think that's extremely helpful when you have Delanie Walker being able to block there because he brings in that versatility. Obviously, I think Jimmy Graham is still a great red zone threat, but he doesn't bring that exactly with his ability to block, but obviously with his size and all. I think Delanie Walker brings that, and he might not be too tall. That might be a big concern, but other than that, though, I think that if you're a Tennessee Titans fan, you should be quite confident that you have a good tight end there, and you can use him in the red zone, and it could be very useful. And when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys, the reason why I think that this is better than the Dallas Cowboys offense in the goal line is because of the wide receiver. Obviously, Dez Bryant would say is better. But one thing for sure, when you look at Dez Bryant, they don't really use him on the fade route as well. They don't really use him. Dak Prescott might have the mobility. Jason Witten might have the short throw. It just... I could say that you could maybe talk into it, but the fact is they don't really use the receivers there. Jason Witten's getting kind of up there in age, and obviously I want to see how well Dak Prescott does with his equal out, because that's a big concern right there. All right, guys. I made a video yesterday based on which NFC teams team is going to make it to the Super Bowl for them. I did that. Click the link in the description. I do a bunch of these videos. I upload it daily. It's very rarely I don't upload a video on one day. It sometimes happens when I'm usually out of my place where I have to do stuff. But overall, it's my video. And also, what do you think? Do you think the Tennessee Titans are going to make the playoffs because of their goal line offense? Comment the link in the description. Alright guys, I'll see you next time. Peace.